Why is Sanji considered the most unfortunate member of the crew? Because the other 9 members are literally working him to death. A slave of the celestial dragons would have to feel grateful for living a happy life compared to him. Fighting bosses like Queen is actually the most relaxing moment for the chef. According to the Straw Hat's daily routine published by Oda, Sanji only gets to sleep for 5 hours a day. Before dawn break, he has to wake up to prepare 3 meals a day for everyone, which includes 5 full meals for Captain Luffy, all kinds of snacks for Chopper and Frankie, as well as afternoon tea and pastries for Nami and Robin. His pots and pans are practically spinning fast enough to catch fire all day long. To make matters worse, every single member has different tastes, requiring him to carefully plan and customize balanced, nutritious meals for each individual. Once dinner is over and everyone heads out to the deck to relax and play, Sanji is left alone to clear the dishes and scrub the stove. On top of that, while working, he constantly has to keep an eye out to make sure Luffy and Chopper don't fall into the ocean outside. Because before Jinbei joined the crew, the Straw Hats had 5 devil fruit users who couldn't swim. Sanji is the best swimmer, so retrieving Luffy and Chopper whenever they fall into the sea is almost entirely his responsibility. When the ship docks, Sanji has to rush through every corner of the city to buy groceries. However, the budget Nami gives him each time is very limited. As a result, he not only has to meticulously select the freshest ingredients, but also haggle with market vendors to keep expenses low. Sometimes when returning to the ship, he finds that, Moss Head, Zoro hasn't come back, forcing him to retrace his steps to find and drag the directionally challenged swordsman back. After lunch, right as Sanji finishes the work at hand, enemies suddenly attack. He has to pull up his pants and jump straight into battle. He is not only one of the main battle powerhouses, but also acts as the strategist using his intellect to break tight situations. Thus, Sanji spends his entire day running back and forth between the kitchen and the battlefield. On top of that, if Luffy suddenly decides to hold a feast right after a fight, the chef has to carry a body full of injuries to cook a grand feast for thousands of people. You think his rest time from midnight to 5 a.m. is Sanji's most relaxing moment? You're being too naive. Sanji has to constantly use observation haki to guard the refrigerator, because Luffy and Zoro are up to no good in the middle of the night, one sneaking around to steal alcohol, and the other trying to steal meat. On nights when it's Sanji's turn for night watch, he gets zero rest for a full 24 hours. If you replaced him with a donkey for 2 days, it would probably die of sheer exhaustion. So, it's completely understandable why Sanji's combat strength is slightly behind the captain and vice captain. Luffy has top-tier masters to guide him, Zoro trains with heavy weights and swords every day, while Sanji is busy from dawn till dusk. Where would he find the time to train? Every single crew member can boss him around. That's why people say the Straw Hat crew can do without anyone else, but they absolutely cannot survive without their chef. And that is why during Whole Cake Island, Luffy fought with everything he had to hold onto Sanji when he wanted to leave the ship.